Okay, well here so we are live with FM Zibbit. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just got a warm up game and won my first game, and then I flagged my second game, which I was like 2 moves away from mating him, and I just slow poke. I'm a slow poke.
Okay, okay. Okay, I just got some bits. Thank you, King Stuff. Yeah, I went to the toilet and my viewership went up. That's pretty nice.
Nice, nice.
Uh, yeah. So a little bit like yeah, I saw you collabing with Julie the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just started watching you and yeah, I liked your vibe and then you surprised me. You've been to Iceland.
I have been to Iceland.
Yeah.
One of my favorite. Well, it was a tough trip, but it was definitely one of my favorite, most adventurous trips.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you told me about it, but I asked you not to tell me like the whole details last time
True,
around.
true.
So
Yeah.
when was this?
This was in, I want to say like 4 years ago.
Oh, 4 years ago.
Rough, yeah, roughly 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just me and one of my roommates. Um, we both always wanted to visit Iceland. He's actually been there before because he did a study abroad there.
Okay.
So he was kind of like my guide of the trip.
Okay.
And we went during the winter, so it was we were freezing the whole time.
Yeah, today it's so cold, man. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I bet. What is it there now? Like minus 30 degrees or something?
It's something crazy. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just cold.
yeah.
No, 4 years ago. So I mean, how old are you? Are you like mid-20s or?
Yeah, I'm 26.
Okay, yeah. My educated guess would have been 25, so that's pretty close.
Pretty
Yeah.
close, pretty close. Some people guess 16, some people guess 12, I get all sorts of numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I ask
But
what's your ancestry?
Taiwanese. Well,
Taiwanese.
my
Okay.
parents are from Taiwan, but I grew up in California my
Yeah.
whole life, pretty much.
So do they call
Yeah.
it second generation or
Um, I guess so.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess technically I would be first generation. I don't know how generations
No,
work.
no,
Does
no.
anyone know?
I don't
If
know
my
either.
parents moved here, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I am second. I never know.
I think the immigrants are the first generation and the the children that they have is second. I'm not sure. But just wondering.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds right.
So at you is that your name? Is that short for something or
No, my name is Ed, and then Jew.
okay?
It's pronounced.
It's pronounced
Yeah,
you. Okay,
Jew.
okay. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure about that. Okay.
Yeah,
So I saw you.
yeah.
You've only been playing since what? August? Really?
Yep. I started in August.
Nothing before that.
I learned like how the pieces worked when I was like a kid, but
Yeah.
I never like really played any like serious games or anything like that. Um, I just didn't really have that much of an interest in it.
Okay.
So I understand like, oh, the idea is to like take your opponent's pieces and all that. But it was only like, I think it was during PogChamps. I was watching some streamers play, and I was
Okay.
like, "Wait, this game is really cool." Because I love like tactical games. I was a competitive auto chess player, um, which is like fake chess.
Okay.
So the real chess was like, wait, people actually play chess still? I thought this was like an ancient game.
Okay.
But here I saw young people playing it, and I got sucked into it, and yeah, ever since then I've been throwing my life at it pretty much.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you've been streaming more or less every day. I guess your goal is to stream like every day for a year.
Yeah. Yeah, my goal is to do streaming full time at some point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been streaming every day, learning chess at the same time, meeting cool people. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, one thing. We need to. I need to. We need to become friends on chess.com so I can invite you.
Oh yeah, I think we are friends.
Are you in live
I
chess?
think we are. Oh, let's see. I just switched over to Lee Chess not too long ago. Oh, sorry, I switched over from Lee Chess. I switched over to chess.com not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I am in live chess now. I think. Yeah, I am.
You have
and now
invited. Okay. Excellent.
perfect.
How can I see who?
And then
One moment. Machine.
true, Mustin, true.
People are asking for your details, so I'm just. I have a command to shout out my friend, Mr. Edu. So okay, you told me you play you play the London system.
Yeah, I play London as white, and then for black, I've been learning the modern. I used to be a Scandi player, but
Ooh.
it's gotten me some fun games, some fun positions, but I figured it's time to go pro and go modern.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I think when you're learning early, you should switch up your openings a lot, just to get different kind of pawn structures and piece placements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so don't get caught up in like the same openings. Just one moment.
Or I should make a command for Zibit.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I prepared some stuff on the London. I know a lot about the London. I played myself. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm just gonna pull up some files. Hopefully it's not slowing down my stream too much. I've got a lot of programs open right now. Let's see.
What's your FIDE rating? I'm gonna make a command for you.
It's 2336, I believe, at the moment.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So what can we expect today?
Okay, I mean, I want to look at some opening stuff, maybe give you some ideas in the London, but also something general. Look at some famous games and see some tactical ideas and then stuff that hopefully will help you and your viewers and my viewers out.
Yeah. Excited to learn.
So I think we'll start with the London.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've been watching you play a little bit, so it seems like you know some ideas.
Yeah, I took the London course on chessable.com.
Okay.
I spent like well over 20 hours on that course just studying through the different variations of it.
Okay. So I think the most important thing is to learn and understand sort of the ideas.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Because even at highest levels, I mean, our memory, it's so different. Like for me, I don't have a very good memory, like long term. So usually when I'm playing tournaments, I'm playing a lot of games, looking at my files, trying to like keep everything fresh. But if I stop doing that, a lot of like the deeper lines, I just lose it out of my memory. So I'm just relying on kind of understanding. But some people have just insane memory. So,
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing I want to do is just look at some weird lines that people play. And I saw for instance yesterday somebody played f6 against you.
Yeah, I
And
see a lot of that. I see some people who play
yeah,
the England Gambit.
yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, yeah. Let's quickly look at that because this is the Englund Gambit. It's basically very bad. So
Yeah, it's so bad, but I often lose to it for some reason. I don't know why. My brain just shuts off.
yeah, people who play this, it's basically a gimmick opening, and there's very little to learn. You just take the pawn, and there are two ways. Most people go knight c6. Most recently they're going bishop c5 to play this trap that Eric Rosen has set up. They go here,
Yeah.
and you take, and they pre-move this,
Oh.
hoping you take.
Oh.
So
Okay.
if you take, they take the pawn, and you lose the queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the problem is if you
So
just
I never take that pawn.
yeah, you can. I think you could just take it. The problem is if
really?
you play this bishop f4, they don't really have anything.
Yeah. True.
They're gonna end up taking this pawn eventually. Okay, I mean, can we castle? Okay, they can play some moves. They can play knight g6, maybe castles. But the thing is, let's say they play this, you just keep the bishop here, like in the London. Eventually they have to take the pawn. Because now there's no more bishop takes f2. Let's say they castle. Can you take now here? Is this okay?
Can I take the pawn here?
Yeah.
Well, same idea, right? I still lose the queen if he takes my if he. Oh, actually, no. I have the wait. No, I have the bishop.
Yeah, you have the bishop. So now
Yeah.
you're threatening to take c7. So actually he has to take now. With pawn or bishop.
Oh.
Either way, now you just take. And he takes with the queen or the pawn. Either way, if he takes with the queen, you take the queen. If he takes with the pawn, which is more likely. Now, what's the situation, materially wise?
Just up a pawn.
Yes, and how do you like this pawn for black?
Yeah, it's pretty crappy.
What do you call these pawns?
Isolated.
Isolated.
Yeah.
And when you have an isolated pawn, the squares like in front of it and close to it become very weak. So once you finish your development, you have a pawn, you can place a knight on d5. Very pleasant position. So this is just basically a crappy gimmick opening. You're hoping that your opponent falls for a cheap trick. You might play it in a bully game or blitz game, but this is not good. Okay. Yeah. The other way is the other gimmick is to play knight c6. And this was more common before this whole Eric Rosen business. Was to play this. And queen e7.
Yeah, I see this a lot.
You see this a lot, okay? Bishop f4. Yeah. And this is the best move, but they're still hoping for this.
Really?
Yeah. Queen check.
Okay.
And what do you think is the best move now? Let's check. Let's attack here.
Bishop back.
Bishop back, correct. And here. And now, when I was about 12 years old, I played this move. My opponent played this immediately. I thought, okay, he's threatening to take. I play here. He took my bishop. I took, and I got checkmated. And my opponent.
Yeah, I've gotten checkmated by this before.
Okay. And
PTSD.
PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. So, okay, we fall for this once, but after that, it's just a gimmick. And in fact, computers will tell you that black is almost losing here. Remember, okay, we gave up this pawn, but we already won a pawn on e5, so we're not even down a pawn.
True.
And the queen is so badly placed. We're going to play rook b1, then knight b5, and black really can't defend this pawn. So this is just almost losing. So this is very little to remember. You just play. You just take the pawn. Sorry, knight c6. You just defend it. You defend it again. They play their gimmick. We say, okay, I'm not falling for bishop c3. I develop. I'm not playing this. I'm playing knight c3. and it's basically game over. It's very hard for black to play.
True.
So after I learned this, I had this about 5 or 6 times in blitz games against strong opposition, and I think I won every game.
Yeah.
So yeah, just since you mentioned the Englund, it's actually, I guess you get it a lot these days, right?
Sometimes. I on ranking not so much, but I just have one viewer that I play often, and that's the only thing he plays.
Okay.
So, but yeah, the chessable London course that I learned taught me a different line where you just give back the pawn on e5. And I've only studied it a few times, so it doesn't really make sense to me. Like it actually, yeah, it was a weird line, but your line makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I think my line is more the consensus best line, but it's such a bad opening that there are many lines that give you a very pleasant position. Just learn one.
Yeah.
Learn one. That's easy to learn, and don't worry about it. It's topical right
True.
now, but I think it will die down.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna look at weird stuff in London. Like I said, okay, you had this yesterday, and probably it was during the end of your stream. So I think with a fresh mind, you'll know what to do here.
I could check with my queen.
Yeah. I figured you were kind of tired after a long stream because you played bishop back. But obviously you play this.
Yeah.
So anytime they open up like this, f6 or g5 or both, I very often talk about with my students. I call it tactical triggers. So anytime your opponent plays a move like this, and it's kind of like a meme. Do you know Ben Feingold?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Ben Feingold.
Oh yeah, Ben.
Yeah, okay. He's a grandmaster, and he says never play f6. It's kind of a meme or a joke, but it has some truth to it, because every time you play a move like this, you're opening up this diagonal. So it's kind of that's why I call it a tactical trigger. Every time your opponent plays this, you should check if you have some opportunities on this diagonal here.
I often see they push e5 after this at some point.
Yeah. Generally they play f6 to play e5. That's true. So this was kind of a borderline case. Let's see. There was another game. I looked at some games of yours. I think somebody played this and then e5. So what do you think? What would be the best move here?
Well, if I remember correctly, I think I put this in the engine one time, and it recommended me to drop my bishop back to g3 prophylactically.
Okay.
But I don't really understand why I would do that before developing. Like here, if this is a blitz game, I would probably just I don't know, I'd probably just develop and push like g3 or something. Knight to g3.
Yeah, not to f3, you mean? Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, f3, yeah.
Yeah, that's the most logical. Anytime you can develop and cut off your opponent's ideas, you do that. So I think knight f3 must be the best move.
Okay.
Okay, so generally you don't have to worry about. Very few people play f6, but somehow I saw 2 games immediately where somebody did this against you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of rare. Okay, I very briefly want to show you one line to be aware of. It's if black goes to h5. It looks very stupid.
Oh, I know this.
You know this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had to not play e3.
Yeah, if you play e3, you lose a piece.
Yeah.
But anything else, and this is just a stupid move. Like knight f3, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. Just play knight f3, and then try to build a big center.
Yeah. Okay, I also wanted to briefly talk about lines where they go Let's go
How
back.
does it lose a piece?
Oh yeah, let's go over that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking. Yeah, if you go,
Mhm.
it's actually very tricky. Let's make it a puzzle for the people.
So this is if you play e3 against the h5 pawn move, you eventually lose the bishop.
Yeah.
Because they could eventually trap the bishop. They just keep jamming their pawns, and there's no way you could save your bishop.
Yeah. They play e5. It's very tricky.
Yeah.
If you
And
take,
then you think you might be able to take it, but even if you take with the pawn or the bishop, you're going to get trapped regardless.
can you move? Can you show them if you take with the bishop?
So if you take with our bishop, then your bishop doesn't really have anywhere to go. It can't go backwards this way. So all they have to do is they just push here, and then I mean you can't take, you can't go here. So where do you go? You go back here, but then they just go here, and then you go here, and then you go here. But let's just say maybe we're like, oh, just drop all the way back. But then after here,
It is great for.
it's here, yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Here you can't take because the rook. And you go here, and then same issue. This is ironic. It's just kind of crazy that this actually works, but it traps the bishop.
It works. It's a trap, but nonetheless, I mean, white does get some counterplay because, I mean, we completely opened up the king. We do lose a piece, but the game is it's not over. But something to something to be aware of. I think
I've gotten trapped by this a few times.
Yeah, I'm thinking about starting a show like this week in traps, because like there are so many YouTubers and Twitch streamers coming out with like silly traps that people have to avoid.
Yeah, just counter it all.
Yeah. So I also saw you play this line, bishop f5. I like to play this, which you do also, and now c4.
Yeah.
And this is
I like c4.
Kind of the London Slav. So obviously you looked at this. I saw you play a game in this. Sorry about the arrow. And here queen b3 is a very strong move, which you played.
Would you play queen? Sometimes or most of the time, I develop my knight to b3 first.
Yeah, I would play queen b3 immediately.
Oh, b3 immediately. Okay.
Yeah, because very often your knight wants to come to d2, and we'll see that a bit later.
Oh, okay. Well, I learned something new today. I thought the correct move order is actually c3 first with my knight.
Yeah, I think I think this is fine as far as I know.
Okay.
So if you go, so he has two choices: either to go here, go for the ending. This London, we call this the London Slav ending. So this pawn structure, if you play this on the first two moves, it's called the Slav defense. So it's kind of a mixture of openings. So it's like the London Slav ending. So if he goes here, now you play the knight to c3.
Oh. And why is that?
It's better placed here because, let's say he develops. Now can you play a move that not directly takes advantage of the queen's position here, but creates some threats? I mean, puts a piece on a nice square and makes it uncomfortable for black.
Maybe. I probably would just develop my knight to f3 here.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Probably you can start with that also.
There's something else that I could take advantage of.
Yeah. Very often.
I often cap. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Very often in middle games, when you have the queen on some of the central files, like e7, d7, or somewhere around here. If you can place a rook on the same file as the queen, it can be very threatening.
Oh, okay. So you would go knight to c1 here.
Yeah, rook to c1. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, rook. Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Because once you take here, you're opening the c file.
Yeah.
Let's say you place a move like bishop e7. You can take. Already, this is a losing blunder because the rook is undefended. But okay, this is very risky. But most of the time they will go e takes d5, and now you can use the pin. That's sort of the main idea of this.
Okay. Okay.
You're threatening this. You can go here as well. It's very tricky for black.
Oh, interesting. I often see the bishop come to pin the well, I guess you can't right now in this situation.
Try to pin the knight.
Yeah, because that's usually when they have their knight on c6 backing the bishop.
Exactly.
The pin. Yeah.
But usually in this structure, this Slav type of structure, they can't do that. Okay, so the main move, which you will see most often, is queen b6. And I saw you already knew about this idea. You had one game.
Yeah.
I think yesterday.
Keep the queen off.
We played this.
Yeah.
And let's say they played this. And you played correctly. You played this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure it was exactly like this, but again, to me, I don't memorize like exact move orders. I just memorize the ideas. So I played positions like this many times. So I know that I want to go b5. That's all I know. I know this far. I know I like my bishop, and I want to go b5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So let's say, okay, your next move should be b5 if you can. Let's say we don't do it. Let's say we go after b4. Let's say we go knight f6. We don't go b5. Let's say we go
knight f3.
Let's say we go knight f3. I was actually going to say we don't do that because we have to be a little bit careful sometimes about knight h5. We really don't want to lose the bishop from this diagonal because it's very strong. So if he's threatening to go knight h5, be careful. In this case you can go b5, but if you couldn't, I would go h3.
Just to create a little pocket for the bishop?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because you really want the bishop here, and we'll see why a bit later. So b5 is go ahead.
I often see, so in the course that I learned, it says to go h3 when they put their bishop on
e7.
E7, because now after they go here, you don't have this move, which would, maybe it's a little different because normally you have a knight here and their queen is here. Anyways,
that's exactly the point. In this case, you could go here because now you could chase the bishop here, and you get it eventually.
I see. But it wrecks the king side though, so isn't that enough compensation, or
for him
still better to...
No, it's still, because he has to be careful about this, so he plays bishop g7. So as compensation, he has the bishop here.
Okay.
So it's still a complicated game, but to my mind, in my experience, you want to keep this bishop, so I would play h3 if you have to. Okay.
So when would you play h3? So do you just play h3 when you see a knight on f6, or what about this situation specifically inclines you to play h3?
Because if he can play knight h5 now, he will get your bishop.
Because we don't have a queen on
d1. Yeah, you don't have anything covering this. So you could actually start maybe with bishop e2 because you cover this, and then go from there. So
bishop to e2 kind of serves a similar purpose as h3, preventing the bishop from getting knight. Okay, that makes sense.
And one good point is that let's say we go knight f3, and you can't save the bishop here because rook c8, and you have to go back and give it up.
Yeah.
So this dynamic, okay, you can arise at this position through different move orders, but it's just the importance of this dynamic.
Bit for Zib. Bit.
That I wanted to demonstrate. By the way, Fan Panicle, thank you for the bits. Okay, so where was I?
Ben Feingold?
No, it's Fen Beingold.
Fen Feingold.
Yeah.
What a bait. What a
So
bait.
once you become famous, it's gonna be I am JD. How can you turn it around? I'm at you.
I don't even know how to
I'm
say
at you.
that.
I'm JDU. Yeah, JDU. Somebody will take that name. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So B4, you want to play B5. Okay, let's say
Right.
they play A6. What should you play now?
A6. Well, I'm noticing that if we play B5 anyways, he can never capture with the A6 pawn because his rook is the pawn is pinned onto the rook. So maybe B5 anyways, and he captures with the pawn on C6, and maybe we just take with our bishop.
Yeah, you had a similar situation. That's correct. You just take with the bishop.
We just take.
You get rid of the double pawn, and it's good because you can always, let's say he moves the rook, you can always just retreat. And this is very strong. You go for queenside play, eventually you push the other b pawn to b5. And you get good play on the queenside. So if you can do this, you want to do it. So let's imagine that you don't play it. You play a move like knight f3. I wanted to show you one trick. So
Okay. Ooh, tricks.
Yeah,
I like
you like tricks. I have this in one of my. I have some video series on my YouTube where I talk about pattern recognition. I have like checkmate patterns and tactical patterns, and this is one of them. It's white to move here.
So he castles kingside.
He castles, yeah. Which is not a good move.
Sorry, queenside.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of have.
Ooh, do we sack our bishop?
You have two good moves.
We sack our bishop. We capture with our rook. There's no way it's a bishop sack, is it? I'm looking at bishop takes a6.
It's very.
Wait, there's a mate here.
It's very close.
Bowden's mate.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Who said that? That's so good. That's so good. Somebody.
Yeah, my chat is like super smart. They don't need these lessons.
Your chat is booked. Bowden's mate is absolutely correct.
Wow. Okay.
That's good. I mean, you only recently started, so I mean, you need to.
Oh.
Yep.
Instead of bishop sack, rook sack.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. No, you play it. No, you play it. I'm not gonna play it.
All right. What?
You play it.
That's insane.
Boom. Yeah. If you take this is.
Oh my lord.
This is Bowden's mate. Boom, boom. All the squares.
Oh. That is pretty sexy.
How do you like that one?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I never get to sack my rooks like that. I'm definitely gonna do that in the future.
Yeah, but this can definitely happen.
Yeah, no, I feel like I've had this game before.
Yeah, because this move order is not forced. Maybe you, before we go into this, you play knight f3, and then we go for this queen b3 business. So we arise at this position. So it's a very good trick to know about.
Very nice, very spicy.
Okay, so we talked about okay, not knight f3. Let's say a6. So let's say there's a different move order. Maybe you started with knight f3, and black knows you want to play b5.
Okay.
So what would be a move for black to prevent b5 here?
To prevent b5, maybe.
b5 is based on the pin here. How can you get rid of the pin on pin?
Well, he could move his rook.
Correct.
He could also castle, but we just looked at that.
Yeah, we looked at that. Yeah. don't castle. Don't castle.
He could also try to defend the rook. I'm not sure how though. Yeah, he doesn't really have a good way to defend that rook. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just move the rook to c8.
Yep.
I think you looked at that already.
Correct. Rook c8. So
Okay.
now you can't play b5 because you just take.
Right.
So I just want to, because this is a typical kind of middle game. So I just want to give you the plans and the ideas.
Okay.
And when they do this, okay, they are aware of the threat of b5, so they want to unpin.
Right.
What do you think is? It's hard to find weaknesses for black, but what do you think is the weakest point for black?
I mean, b6 looks like a really good square because no pawns could defend that.
True, as a square. But let's talk about pieces, like undefended pieces or pawns. Yeah.
I mean, all his pieces look pretty well defended. I'm not really seeing any hanging pieces.
Yeah, these are undefended, but you're not going to take advantage of that. b7. Correct.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, how can you? Let's say you get three moves. How can you put pressure on b7?
Okay, so my bishops aren't getting there. It's probably going to have to be done by knight.
Correct.
Okay, so knight here, here, here. Okay, how do we get there?
Okay,
so if I could put my knight on a5.
Knight a5, c4, a5 was correct, but obviously the problem was, the middle of the route, it's hanging. So can you do it in a different way so that it's not hanging?
See. Yeah, we could drop back to d2.
Correct.
And then b3 and
correct.
then a5.
Correct, but one moment. Do you want to drop back or do you want to use the knight that hasn't been developed?
Yeah, probably this one.
Okay, make the move. Correct, absolutely correct. So you want to come here. So this is already a very difficult plan, and this is why you need the bishop.
Yeah.
Because you're covering b8 and c7.
Oh, he has no way to defend that pawn, huh?
Exactly. The rook on c8 can't defend the pawn. So this is very difficult. So black has only two ways to defend b7. I think one of them is more popular and more natural. And the other one means that you would have to kind of admit to a mistake, which is sometimes very hard in chess.
Yeah.
And actually, maybe you can't do that. Sometimes in similar positions, you can put the rook on a7. But here, I don't think you can do it because of b5.
Right.
So the only other way... Okay, so the knight wants to come here. How can black do something about it? You know that, okay, let's say I'm white. I want to go knight b3, a5, attack your pawn on b7. How can you defend the pawn on b7? Actually, defend it is not a good word. How can you prevent my attack without losing material?
Well, one way I thought of was if you could somehow get rid of the bishop on f4.
That's a good thought.
You could put your rook on b8. For example, something like the e5 pawn break could be.
That's a very good thought.
An idea.
So usually when I get this and my opponent realizes, okay, I'm going to attack his pawn, they do one of two things. The first one is the one I think is better if you can do it. And the other one is to try to organize an e5 break. But it's difficult because if you do it, once you play e5, I mean, who's in front? Can you take on e5 if I play f6, e5?
Let's see, if I take... He has two defenders, I have three attackers actually. Yeah, he can't even do it.
Yeah. So that's too slow. So the only other way is to anticipate the knight coming here and maybe chop it off.
Okay. So let's see. So we're trying to find a way to protect b7 or prevent b7. Okay. Well, our rook is hanging on a1, so maybe we could take advantage of... but there's no way to really get to it.
No.
I was thinking maybe like push the a6 pawn or something weird like that.
Yeah,
But
no,
he
no,
just pushes
it's not gonna work.
anyways. I don't know.
You can never push this pawn because we just untouple the pawns, win a pawn. You can never push the b pawn because once you push it, then this rook is like, hello, I'm in business.
True.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of an unnatural. Maneuver. Can you see
could put your rook on d7.
That probably takes too long. Rook here, no, no, you can actually do it, but I don't think it works.
Oh, okay.
Good idea though. I like that you're thinking. You're thinking in solutions.
Just move your pawn backwards, Smile. Yeah, I don't know.
So this is the move, bishop e7.
Okay.
So what do you think is the idea?
Oh.
I want to come
bishop to d8.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's almost the only idea. If your opponent doesn't come up with this, then you're in happy town. So he has to take. So this untoubles the pawns.
We're pretty happy with this position though.
Yeah.
Right? We got the bishop pair.
Okay, let's say they go here. You could go h3. You actually don't have to right now because he's not threatening to win, to eliminate your bishop, because you can put it here. So let's say we go here and they castle. And now I want you to come up with an idea too. Can you put pressure on this pawn?
Okay. This is actually really helpful because none of the courses I've studied go past the opening. And I feel like oftentimes the most difficult part of chess is kind of like, all right, I did the opening, now what? What do I do now?
Yeah.
So this is actually really helpful to come up with ideas on what to do next.
I think this is what people have to do. You have to learn, like, understand and learn the structures and know about ideas like this. Knowing about an idea like this in the middle game is much more important than knowing like 12 moves theory and then not knowing what to do.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Okay, so we're trying to win the b7 pawn. Well, in a real game, I probably wouldn't even have considered that b7 pawn, because I would have just thought like, oh, that thing is so far away, there's no way I get to that. I'm just gonna like castle, and I don't know, since he castled and queens are off the board, I might not even castle this game. I probably like would consider something like king to d2 and then like push up my h pawn or something. But okay, but anyways, we're trying to win the b7 pawn. Well, we have another knight. We could bring our other knight over to well, actually a5 is blocked.
Yeah,
now, so,
both of the squares that can attack it are blocked. It's very hard to get a knight here.
I might
But you have
honestly, I might
have
just,
different pieces with different capabilities.
we do.
Yeah.
What if we we did a rook lift?
Yeah?
I
Rook
like
A3
it.
and then b3?
I like it.
I would go one further.
a4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you think I prefer a4 to a3? Actually, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, but to me, this seems more natural. So we go here.
I feel like a3 looked more natural to me because it's untouchable from the light square bishop. But I guess if we want to put our bishop on, I mean, if we want to put our rook lined up with that bishop, maybe after a3, the bishop can go to c2 or something. But
yeah, but that's just temporary because we can kick the bishop back, maybe even with the king, and then put the rook over.
True. So why is a4 better than a3 here?
We'll get to it in a moment.
Okay.
How can black do anything about this? He has to bite the bullet and get a passive rook. Okay, I'll
maybe just a yeah.
He has to do this,
and then
we go here, and here.
Okay. Now that rook sucks.
It truly sucks. Can we increase the pressure somehow? Takes a few moves.
Well, I was thinking about doubling the rooks.
Excellent.
But that takes like 20,000 moves.
It takes 3 moves.
Castle.
Castle.
Oh, I actually.
2.
Would you still castle
4.
here? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
castle, I guess.
Just because he can hit us here. If we could move the knight and play f3, I would maybe put the king on d2.
Okay.
But it's definitely a consideration to put it on d2 if you can. But in this case, let's go back. Here, you would have to put it on the back rank anyway, because of the bishop. So here you walk into a discovery, so you have to go back anyway, so you might as well castle.
Okay. So you never go king to d2 here?
Not unless I can secure the square. Let's say the knight was somewhere else, e5 or h4 or whatever, and I could play f3. Then maybe I'll go here.
Okay.
Maybe I'll definitely go here.
So castle just to avoid the knight check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here, okay, I'm not going to go further. Now you have a good middle game. You have a clear plan. You want to attack this. He has to be passive.
Yeah.
And from there you can improve your pieces. Actually, he has to be very, very passive now. He has to find, I think, some moves like, okay, yeah, probably has to put the rook on the 7th. But it's actually very tricky. You might even play this.
What if you went b8 there? Instead of
with a knight.
Instead of putting the rooks on the 7th, he just swiveled his rook to b8.
No, you still have a strong bishop.
Oh yeah, okay. This is why I blundered my pieces. Yep. I would have gone b8.
the London bishop. Once you start thinking about it, the London bishop, it's always on this diagonal. That's why you want sometimes to create the pocket we talked about earlier. These squares are so important in these structures to take away.
Yeah.
So okay, I don't want to go further, but if you remember these plans, it will help you tremendously in exactly these structures.
Yeah, this is great. Now I actually know what to do.
Yeah, which is important.
After the moves.
Okay.
Very cool.
Very cool. Let's go back. So, about a year ago, I played in a tournament. It's called the European Club Cup. So it's basically just clubs from across Europe. I played for my chess club in Iceland, and we placed in the top 3 in our national competition. And same for other clubs in Italy and Spain and whatever. And there's a European Club Cup, and all these clubs come together and we play a tournament. So it was my first international tournament in a while. I played a lot more when I was younger, about your age, but like recent years I've been doing more like commentary work and studying and coaching and stuff, so not been playing as much. But I played the tournament, and my first game was actually a London system, and it's a cool trap which I learned from Eric Rosen. I played bishop f4, my opponent played c5, and I play e3. So I think actually you generally play bishop f4 on the second move from what I've seen, and that's actually that's absolutely fine. So just to be aware of, sometimes it matters, but usually it doesn't. So my opponent played b6. Have you had your opponent play something like this?
Not as often. Very. It's a bit more rare that I see this line, but it sometimes happens.
Yeah, my feeling is this is a slightly more advanced way to play for black. So I think eventually you will see systems like this.
I feel like I've watched a YouTube video about this, like how to punish them when they do this too early. Isn't it called like the Marachi trap or like the Ashwin or something?
Yes, you're correct.
Oh, am I right?
Very,
Really?
yeah, very good, very good.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've been watching you a little bit, and I've been impressed. I mean, obviously, you've been playing for 4 months, so you're gonna make mistakes. That's just inevitable. But certain times, you like, I'm like, where did that come from? Like, very impressive stuff. But okay, it takes time. You just have to put it together, And, I think it will come.
Oh, you go. Oh, knight to d2.
Yeah, knight to d2. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been messing it up then. I've been going knight to b3 in these situations.
In this one.
But yeah, I thought you were supposed to go there. I don't.
Yeah, knight d2 is
with
tricky.
Ideas of. Anyways,
this is definitely playable. I'm not. But this is like a very specific trap. And I do actually play this with black myself, and what I do here with black is I take on d4, like this.
Right.
Which avoids all the funny business. But my opponent in the game, a strong player, he's rated about 2100 FIDE. He played bishop b7.
Right. Ooh.
And already after this move, black is facing some problems because I go knight c4.
Oh, okay. So you're threatening
this is like a
to win the bishop here?
Yeah, positional threat, exactly. Just to win the bishop here. And okay, first of all, let's just dismiss a move like d6. Okay, I no longer can check on d6, and you're covering d6 sufficiently, but how does white punish this?
I'm sorry?
How does white punish this move?
Oh, and then there's another threat on the right side, if I remember correctly. Like, if they go there, like... Do you have, like, knight to g5 or something? Can't remember.
That's an idea, but you're right. Your memory is not failing you, but it's not in this particular position.
Okay.
So here it's more important, d6, it's more important to ramp, is that a word? Ramp up the pressure?
Wrap up, yeah, sure.
Increase is a better word. Increase.
D5,
yep, we take on c5.
Yeah.
And the pressure here is.
He has to take with the this b pawn.
If he takes with the b pawn, we just win this. If he takes with the.
Oh, because we're hitting it.
Yeah, we're hitting it three times.
Yeah, we're hitting it 3 times. It's defending it twice. Oh, okay.
But if you take with this one, then we actually.
And then we just
get your idea.
We come in through the back door.
Oh. Then we go knight there, threatening to go that. So he has to go back.
How to increase the pressure? He can't defend.
We slap him. Oh, we slap him with another check. Wait, hold on. I was thinking of knight to d6, but he takes with the bishop. We take with our bishop.
That's positionally good, but I want a more tactical solution.
Tactical solution, okay. Hey Dan, thanks for the raid. How's it going, Dan? Increase pressure there. We have a bishop, but that's not gonna get there in time. Okay, maybe. Okay, oh, I see it. Oh yeah, so just slight inaccuracy. So we go knight c. To e5.
Yes. And he can't defend this.
Oh.
So this is already. What is
okay.
this move? Knight c4 is on move. Let's go back. Sorry. Knight d2, bishop e7. Yeah, this is move 6. Black already needs to be very careful just not to lose.
Yeah. Okay.
So my opponent, he played a seemingly natural move. He played d5. So you already pointed out, if he plays bishop e7, which might be one of the best moves, most decent moves, we play this, and it's just positionally good. We got the bishop
we
here.
just got the bishop here.
Yeah, he has to spend a move like this to kick the bishop away.
Yeah,
and we're better. It's not winning, but it's a good position.
Yeah.
But my opponent, he played d5. Wait, what did I do? Oh yeah, okay. He played d5. And then I played this move.
Okay.
And here he just panicked. He played a blunder. So he's very afraid of this move, which is very annoying.
Okay. So hit him with a check. Why would that be so annoying? Can't you just block with the knight or something?
Yeah, you can block, but then very bad things happen. You can take and you can get the other knight in.
Oh.
You can bring the queen. There's so many things happening. Black just can't deal with it.
True. Wow. Okay. A lot of poison in that. Okay.
Yeah. For example, if he goes knight after d7, you can go bishop e5, a6, and here you can already utilize the fact that you can hit f7, sacrifice the bishop.
Okay.
But just take
and then
this
just
pawn.
slap him with that. Okay.
Yeah. And he's left in just ruins because weak pawns. You can hit him with a check maybe later, and you already won the exchange.
Yeah.
So my opponent was very afraid of bishop b5. Also, if he develops like this, we give a check. And this might be the best way for black to play. Just place the king in the center of the board.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Very dodgy, but maybe the only way to play. And white just gets on with it, and black has to play with the king in the middle of the board, which is very, very bad.
Huh. Okay. I might have to practice this because I feel like I remember things a little better.
Yeah.
When I try it out. Okay.
Yeah. So definitely, I mean, you can watch it back, and I can also give you some files, and you can look at it. Maybe put it into Chessable, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he played c4, which is a bad move. But he does block this, but he forgot about the other side. So what do we play now?
Now we go, I mean, I would imagine you saying increase the pressure on the pawn over here.
Yep.
So we go maybe knight to g4, g5.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did. And it's basically game over.
Really?
Yeah.
What if he just goes... No, he can't go there, lining up with the bishop.
Yeah, this was move 8. We get 1.5 hours for the game, plus 30 seconds every move. And there are like 300 people playing this tournament. And I'm just, at this point, I'm just walking around in the playing hall, all cocky, like I'm going to be the first one to finish. And they're going to be like, who's this guy? Okay, but so, he kept it running for a while. It's losing, but I mean, he... Generally, when people lose this badly, they try to squirm a little bit, because it's too embarrassing to be the first one to lose. So he plays something.
Is there a difference between which knight you capture with? In this situation, I would imagine you would capture with the
probably not
center one.
Yeah, that's a good observation. I think in this case, I wanted to keep the pressure on this pawn.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So he played this, c3. 8-6. Okay, actually, the game actually lasted 23 moves, but at this stage, it's basically over.
Wow.
So you can find this track.
Cool.
Yeah. But clearly, you've seen something similar, probably on Eric Rosen's channel. So this is called the Ashwin Trap or something.
Yeah, I think I saw someone explaining. I think it was Carlson who was playing this trap.
Yeah.
Maybe it's someone else.
Very possible.
Oh, very cool.
Okay. So the last bit of London. Hopefully this is not too much in the London.
No, not at all. I love the London.
Okay.
London is 50% of my games.
Okay. So here's another game I played. This was 2019 in the Icelandic League.
Mm-hmm.
And my opponent is rated almost 2300. Very strong player. And we played like this, e3. So this you will definitely get in a lot of your games. They go knight c6, 92. I like to start with 92 instead of knight f3 actually.
Really?
Yeah, that's just to keep the queen open for a bit, so it doesn't go here. And also you have options. If it goes bishop d4, you can put the queen here. Maybe you can even get adventurous and play f3.
Oh.
Not super important, but just a little nuance. But okay,
Yeah.
he played e6.
I like that.
And there are actually many ways for black to get to this position. He could start with e6 earlier, not play c5 immediately. But these 5 moves, very often you'll see in some order.
Yeah, I see this.
Yeah.
Definitely see this a lot.
Okay, so knight gf3. And you've definitely seen this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the stock move is obviously what? I know you know it. I've seen you play it in more than one game.
G3.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of interesting. The
Correct.
course that I've studied, it suggested all 3 moves at different positions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it does suggest G3, sometimes it's just capturing that bishop, because like their dark square bishop is their like good bishop. It's outside of their pawn train, moves freely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like not too bad capturing it actually, and then you get a good bishop and their bishop is stuck.
Yeah.
But I always go G3 just because sometimes they capture and I get the open H file and I'm happy.
Yeah. Bishop d3 is kind of my stock move as well.
Okay.
I want to give you, it was not planned, but once I started thinking about it, I want to give you one tip. Let's say knight f3.
Sure.
It's about when you go h3 for white. So let's say if they go bishop e7 now, it's actually slightly tricky because now they want to come here.
Yeah, I always go H3 if I see E7 coming out. Mm-hmm.
But now very tricky players might go here.
Yeah.
Because you no longer can go to G3.
Right.
So black loses time, but he's arguing he can no longer go back to G3.
Right.
So the general rule is when they go bishop E7, bishop E7 was my intended move. You do go here. But if they haven't moved the bishop, try to stay away from H3. So let's say they go like A6, a nothing move. If you go H3, they go here in the one move.
Yeah.
And now you can't go to G3. And the reason you want to stay on G3 is because, let's go back to the actual game. So there's no A6, there's bishop D6 and bishop G3.
Sorry about that.
The reason is that very often E5 is the key square. Black wants to play E5 with his pawn if he can.
Mm-hmm.
Right now he can't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plays E5, you take it.
Yeah.
So that's what the tension is about. You're trying to stop him from playing E5. So that's why you play bishop E3. By the way, I have to give a shout out, my friend, Japanese tutor is in the chat.
Oh, no worries.
Thanks for dropping by, JP in the building. So, you want to stop E5. So, if we go back to the other line, if we play A6, E6, not G3, A6, bad move, and we play H3, and they play bishop D6. So now you can't go back here because you can't take with the H pawn.
Right.
So you take here, and now the difference is you lost control of the E5 square.
Right.
So if I play bishop E2 or bishop E3, D3, then black can play E5. And very often, if black can play E5, the position is just equal and black is more than fine.
Yeah.
So that's what you're trying to avoid.
Okay.
So this is important tension. Again, and this like transcends move orders and particular variations. You just need to know, why are you playing this? You're playing this, bishop D3, to not allow your opponent to play E5.
Right.
And you don't play H3 unless he's threatening to take your bishop. And you don't want to play H3 too early because you don't want to lose the opportunity to take back. Mm-hmm. So I hope you understood what I'm saying.
Yeah, makes sense.
It was a little bit abstract, but I hope I got it across. Okay, back to the game. So this was the game. Bishop D3, he castled. And the old main line here is bishop d3, which is fine. You can look at it also. Maybe you saw some courses. But the more modern trend right now is to play bishop b5. This is what Magnus Carlsen was doing in some of his games.
Oh, interesting.
And where are we? Bishop d3, bishop b5. Yeah. So the main idea, and I even had one game against like a 2400 player on chess.com, and he played this move because he didn't want to double his pawns.
Right.
Can you see the problem with this move? It's not difficult. Don't overthink it.
It undefends the bishop.
Yes. I've had this happen more times than you can imagine at a high level. At the high level. Okay, so the other move that people play is a6. But now we take. And again, this strategy of bishop b5 to take the knight. Is to take the bite out of black playing e5. So what you're doing now is called a dark squared strategy. Have you heard of color complexes?
I have, but it's kind of abstract to me. I'm starting to like understand it a little bit. But I wouldn't say like I'm very confident.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, if you knew everything already, you would be a prodigy. Which would be. So, what happens now is we play queen a4. We hit this pawn, and the most natural reaction is to defend it, either with the queen or the bishop.
Right.
It doesn't really. Well, actually, it does matter. Let's say we defend it with the bishop.
Right. Okay.
Now we take this. And this is actually another trap. Can you find a way to increase the pressure on c5?
On c5.
And take advantage of the queen being undefended on d6.
Well, we could go knight d to b3, hitting that pawn.
This one, yeah. It's very often a good move because it's a part of a dark square strategy.
Okay.
By the way, for those that have time, you can check out Levon Aronian's games against Hikaru Nakamura. They were in the London system in the recent online tournament. He very often played against these squares, e5 and c5. So very often this is a part of a dark square strategy. And I say that because you have all these pawns on dark squares, right?
Right.
This and this and this. And your knights want to go to squares that are dark. And black's bishop is a white squared bishop.
Right.
So that can't control any dark square. So you're trying to gain control of the squares that your opponent has trouble defending. So the best move is actually queen a3 here. And this takes advantage of the pin on the pawn. And this actually wins a pawn for white.
There's no way he defends that.
He can defend it like this, but now we can play the move you mentioned earlier.
Oh.
Which was?
Knight to b3?
Yeah. So now the dark square strategy is in full effect.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a good maneuver to know about. And you don't. Okay, I would recommend that you maybe learn about the position up to this and bishop b5, and then you can almost more or less play from principles.
Yeah.
I don't know much further than this, to be honest. At the time of the game, I had studied this line. I made a video about it, so I knew a bit more. So if they play a6, you take, and you play dark square strategy with queen a4, and you take this and knight b3. These are all typical moves in some order.
Okay.
In my game, let's see, bishop d3. My opponent played knight e7. And here comes a strange move. Bishop to d3. So why would I go here and then back here?
Well, you successfully... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. If you have it.
Well, d3 is the optimal square for the bishop because it is lining up with a king.
Correct.
But we were just doing that because of the threat of the pawn coming down to e5. But since he moved the knight...
Yeah, exactly. So bishop e5 was played because it's hard for him to make moves. We already looked at bishop d7 is not available. This runs into trouble on the dark squares.
Okay.
Actually, bishop e7 is the best move, but very few people will play that. And knight e7, you decentralize the knight. So now I can go back to the optimal square, and you have less to worry about in terms of black on e5.
Right. And if the knight goes back to c6, then...
And now you got a free move. And you have a number of ways. Maybe now you stick a knight on e5 yourself.
Okay.
So in the game, so this is actually a trap now. After b6, I go e4.
Another trap?
Another trap. D takes e4.
Wow. Love this.
Knight takes. Knight takes. This is all relatively forced. I'm threatening to take here, so he has to take.
Right.
So this is under attack. He has to go here.
Oh, the sacrifice, the Greek gift.
Not in this one. Not in this one. Very close. Very close. Damn it.
Okay.
Damn it,
I
girl.
always wanted to work, but
yeah.
I can never do it. Like every time I go for it, I end up just dying. I don't know when it works. I don't get it. Anyways.
I think this is based on a game by Magnus. He now took on c5. And this is very annoying for black because
the bishop's hit twice.
Yeah, you can't take with the pawn because what you just said. The bishop is hit twice.
Right.
You also can't take with the bishop because
okay.
So you have to play this.
So you have to take the bishop, but now we Greek sacrifice. Oh no, we get the open file.
We can't take with the pawn, which is actually a very good move.
Oh.
It might be the best move, but this one is actually a bit more tricky. This is what I played.
Can we take first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't actually have the files on it, but h takes g3 is very difficult. It might be the best move actually, because if he takes, this threat buys us a lot of time.
Right.
But queen takes d8 is, I think they're equally good. But I played this because I knew the line. I knew that taking here is not good, but it's very tempting, and that's what it did. Because okay, you want to take queen, but why not take first on f2? Get a pawn. That's what it did.
Right.
King takes, and here.
So
okay, we have equal material. So why is this so good for white? What can we do?
Yeah, well, after this, we maybe just I don't know. I would be scared as white here. My king looks a little shaky.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Maybe
difficult to attack it. Do you have some trumps in your position?
I'm kind of looking at knight to g5, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I don't have that many pieces to work with.
Okay. But you have one very strong piece. And very, very often, like in basketball, the strongest pieces or the players are not necessarily the biggest.
My pawn!
My pawn!
Oh, wait. Wait. Should I push? So, if I push it, the knight could take, bishop takes.
And you just win a piece.
Wait, why? Oh, right. Oh my gosh, I'm dumb. Yeah, of course.
So this is what I played, and this is what I had studied before the game. So all this I played very quickly.
Oh.
So what's the big threat for white now?
The fork on the rooks.
Yeah. Which just wins. And I think the position is actually close to winning for white right now. He played knight d5. I took it. He took. I played rook to d1. King f8. I took. And how can you play? How can you centralize a piece and make sure he can never get to this pawn?
Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Is it rook to e1?
Rook e1 is a good start.
Cutting out the
It's moved
king
20.
permanently?
Yeah, I actually played this move. I'm not saying it's better, but I played this and he defended the pawn. And now I actually played the move that I wanted. That I wanted you to find.
Okay. Let's see. Well,
So knight.
we could play knight to
Yes.
g5,
Okay.
hitting the bishop and
Okay. Do you want
threatening
to?
the other.
Do you want to take?
Oh, sorry, what?
Do you want to trade the knight for the bishop?
I don't know. No. Now that you say it that way, no.
Okay. So how do you think?
Um,
Do you think this is a good or a bad bishop?
It's a pretty much a pawn. Yeah, it's probably
Exactly,
not.
because it's defending a pawn, and it's restricted by its own pawn.
Right.
So we want it to stay that way. And another factor about minor pieces are bishop and knights. Knights really like outposts.
Right. Oh, knight to e5 threatening the fork. Wait, no, that just... Yeah, wait, no.
Yeah, but
It doesn't threaten the fork because
no,
of the bishop.
he can always take it, and he can always push the knight
Yeah.
back. So it's not... An outpost is a square for a knight where he can't be pushed back. So this game was actually 51 moves. But after this move, which is move 21, I think white is winning, and we don't have to look at anything else. Don't have to look further.
Okay.
It's not a tactic, it's just... I mean, black can't do anything. Yeah, Feingold in my chat, he has a nice line here. He says, first restrain, next blockade, lastly destroy. He's talking about isolated pawns. So when you play against isolated pawns, first you want to restrain them, then blockade, and then maybe, and lastly, destroy them.
Okay.
So how can we completely blockade this pawn forever? And if we blockade the pawn, we restrict the bishop.
Well, he wants to play rook to...
He probably wants to attack the pawn.
Yeah.
Maybe you're overthinking it. I'm just asking for it's a relatively simple move.
Oh, okay. Maybe I put my knight in front of it.
Yeah. That's it.
Knight to d4. Really?
So this pawn, how are you ever gonna attack it? It's gonna take you a gazillion moves. You have to attack it with the rook. You have to defend the bishop. You have to make a square, so I can move the bishop here. But if you do that, I can pin the bishop and win it. And even if I couldn't, I can push my pawns and defend this pawn.
Huh, wow. Yeah, knight to d4. I never would have thought of that. So you're just preventing it from coming downwards?
Yeah, and just the knights, they love a square like this where it can't be pushed. It's an outpost.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was looking at the outpost further up, but okay.
Yeah. And so very often when you're playing against a bad bishop, which we identified here,
yeah,
a light square piece, we're playing a dark square strategy. Very often our pieces will be on dark squares, so the knight, the pawns, and actually in this case the king.
Oh, okay. Now what? So we're defending our pawn, we're preventing that from moving down. Now we just
eventually push the pawns, improve your pieces. Black doesn't have any counterplay. I mean, we can play through the rest of the game, but I think it's better that I just send it to you later. You can check it out. But
so black, you're just Black just has nothing to do here.
Just has nothing to do.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay, so that's about it for what I had on the London. I had some cool games prepared. Like, I mean, if you want to keep going, we can keep going.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm down.
Okay.
I think chat's liking this.
Cool.
We're learning a lot here.
So I had a few games I wanted to show you, which you might have seen them. If you've seen them, I mean, just tell me and we'll look at another one.
Okay.
If not, then I think you're hopefully in for a treat. So we're gonna look at the game. One of the most famous games in chess history, and it's not the Morphy game, which you've probably seen. Sorry, it's actually queen takes d4, knight c6, bishop b5, pinning, bishop d7, unpinning. So we have to take because our queen is attacked. Knight c3. So white gives up the bishop pair, but in return he has a slight lead to development. Knight c6, castles, bishop b7, and now white tries to use that lead in development to gain some space. Bishop takes and pawn takes. So equal material, but if we compare the pawns, I mean all the pawns like on these files are equal, but we have a pawn here versus this one. So what do you think that gives white? An advantage in what? More space.
Center control.
Yeah, center control, more space.
Yeah.
So a slight space advantage is how we would describe this. So e takes d5, castles, bishop g5, black plays c6 here, white fortified, takes.
Okay.
Okay, let's see, rook e8, rook fe1. Maybe not the best move by black here, but let's play a few more moves and we are going to end up in our critical position. Queen d7, takes. So white's queen is under attack. But here we start one of the nicest combinations. Do you know what the combination is, by the way?
Yeah. It's just like a sequence?
Yeah, a sequence of like tactical moves, forcing moves that your opponent has to react to. So here, white initiated one of the nicest combinations in chess history. It's white to move. So sorry, just responded to something in chat. So the trigger to this is we do have a nice setup on the e file, right?
Yeah.
So if the queen wasn't there, what would happen? I would just remove the queen.
If his queen wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you just get mated.
Get mated on the, what do we call it? What do we call this?
Back rank?
Back rank, exactly. Back rank mate.
Right.
Okay, so is there some way we can
deflect the queen?
Yes, deflect the queen. Exactly what I was looking for.
Well, we could swivel our queen over to g4. We could also.
That's actually.
We could hit it with a knight, but pawn takes or bishop takes.
That's a very good start and absolutely,
okay,
absolutely
G4,
correct.
okay.
Yeah. Queen g4.
So if queen takes, get mated.
If queen takes, get mated. Back rank mate.
Yeah. Right.
So this game is actually one of the best teaching example when it comes to back rank mate, like ever. So queen g4. So the queen has to move, right?
Right.
If you go back here, what's the problem?
Go back there. Oh, you just take the rook.
Yeah, we just
and
take
the queen.
and we win material. Correct.
Yeah.
So he has to stay in contact with the rook, but stay on this diagonal. So there's only one square.
Oh, there's only one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I guess b5.
Yeah, it's not this. It's not this. So there's only one. It's this. And now we actually continue the deflection.
Okay, we could continue it with. We could use our knight, but the bishop covers that square.
Mm-hmm.
We
exactly.
slap him with the pawn.
We would love this, but not happening. Yeah.
If we go a4, he takes, still covering it. Actually, no, we can't take because the queen is guarding it.
Very important.
Oh wow! So a4.
Very important that black also has threats on the back rank. We also have a weak back rank. So if you play a4, I think black can take this.
Oh my gosh, we got mated.
And now it's us getting mated on the back rank. Because there's, what do you call this tactic when the rook defends through the piece?
X-ray vision.
X-ray, baby. So we would actually, it would be us getting mated on the back rank. So a4, good idea, but black has a resource, so we have to find something else.
We could. Wait.
That sounded like epiphany. Wait.
What if we just snipe the rook? Did we get mated? If we take the rook on c8, if he captures, we check. Oh no, the queen's still there.
Yeah, he's still covering.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Okay, but you're thinking in the correct way. You're thinking in a forcing manner.
Okay, I feel like it has to be something. Oh, maybe we use our queen still. What if we put our queen? What if we just go right in his face with?
What if
we just put our queen
most
on,
directly in his face, like completely in his face? we're saying.
I was thinking of. Oh my gosh, can I do queen to c4? Queen to c4.
Beautiful,
rook takes.
beautiful.
Wait, that's still mate.
No, that's correct. If he takes with the rook, we take. He loses the defender if he takes with the Same if he takes with the queen. So he can't lose a defender. So if either one takes, you take on e8. So he has to find something else. So he goes back, queen to d7. But now you continue. You go right into his face.
Okay, we just go
into his space.
Wow,
and
did we
into
just go queen to c7?
yeah. You got it, man.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Same thing. If he takes, either one takes, you take on e8. So he goes, okay, fine, I'll go back here. But
so yeah, he has to go back to c5.
Yeah. But now
can we go a4 now that we have blocked the rook?
You're too good, man. What's wrong with you? But why
we can do a4.
Why does it work now? Do you remember why it failed earlier?
The queen is blocking his other rook.
Exactly. Before he could play take on e2 and rook c1, but now our queen is blocking the c file, so you can play this.
So if he takes that pawn, then
first let's eliminate takes. That's still just back rank. So if he takes the pawn,
I didn't see what happens after this.
Okay.
Let's see. If I take the rook, he takes. I check. No.
So still, this doesn't work because rook takes. He still covers e8. This. This we take here. Let's see. No, I'm talking about. Sorry. If rook takes, we just take with the rook. And if we take on c8, then rook takes. So neither one of the captures here or here works.
Oh wow, I see it. We put our queen on c6. And then if the pawn takes... No. Yeah, wait.
Ooh.
c6? If the pawn takes, we take with the pawn... Oh no, he just takes back. Never mind. Wait, actually no. If the pawn takes, we have mate.
Very interesting. If he takes with the rook, mate.
Right.
Takes with the pawn.
He takes with the queen.
Mate. But he can't take with the queen.
Wait, he can't take with the queen?
Yeah, and we take back, and then he's not in trouble.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But very, very, very interesting move. Like 66% of the time it works every time. But not if he takes with the queen. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer.
Wait, are we still looking at if I put my queen to c6?
No.
No, okay, not.
It was a very interesting idea. But he escapes with queen takes. But we can still increase the pressure.
Okay.
Remember,
what if we
our queen?
What if we take the pawn on a5, hitting the queen again? But then it just goes back to, I don't know, it goes back to d7.
We need to kick the queen somehow.
Yeah. Okay, what if we go b5 or b3 here? He goes to b5. He goes to b5. Then we could harass it with queen takes b7.
We'd love to play this.
And then it just...
But he can play this.
Oh.
Remember, still, this idea.
Oh, because we moved our queen, right?
Yeah.
So now that queen isn't blocking the...
So, still,
okay.
Good idea, trying to deflect him. Is there another way to deflect the queen from this? So we're kind of, it's very difficult, but we're putting the ideas together. If you play b3, and then take on b7, the problem is he can take on e2 with the queen. What if he couldn't take on e2? This is very advanced stuff, so I mean, it's very tricky.
So are we doing b3 still?
No.
No.
Similar move, but kicking the queen away. But in a way that he can't take later on e2.
I'm
giving you a big hint.
Okay, I'll show you the...
Okay, we put our queen to c4. Yeah, he takes with the rook. It's...
But he can
he takes with the rook...
He can go back with the queen still.
True.
So I'll show you the next move. So
Okay.
I mean, this whole thing is just almost beyond belief.
Eh?
And it's so beyond belief that people think that this combination was like manufactured, like we found it after the game. It wasn't actually played. That's actually what historians are debating, if this actually happened in the game. So rook e4.
Rook left.
Yeah.
Huh.
So hitting the queen. And again, if you take with the rook, I'll take this rook.
Yeah.
And I X-ray checkmate if the queen comes back. And if you take this one, then a very important pattern. When you're hitting two rooks on the back rank and the back rank is weak, neither of them can move. Because whatever you take, I take the other one. And mate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he can't take, so he has to go queen b5. But now this is no longer hanging. So now the idea you had earlier actually works, and this is the last move of the game.
Queen to b6 or c6.
Close, very close.
Queen.
Queen c6 you can take, but you want to deflect the queen. Now you're covering all the squares. You're covering this. You're covering this. You're covering this. You want him off this diagonal.
Right. Well, we can't play queen to d7. We could take the b7 pawn.
Exactly. So how do you move the queen, the black queen, and keep an eye on
oh my god,
this rook?
That's insane.
Yeah, and this is where the game ended. He can't keep an eye on this anymore.
Jeez Louise.
And if you take this, I just take the queen. Oops, sorry, I mouse slipped. And here recover the back rank.
You just win the queen that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So just going back from the start. Looks like a simple position, slight space advantage. we trade a bishop for a knight, and then we hit the queen. This is just amazing. He can't take it, so it goes queen b5, and then we go not this, but queen c4. Has to keep an eye on this. Queen d7. We get in his face. Queen b5. a4 to deflect the queen to a4, so we can play rook to e4. Where is it? Here. Yeah.
Wow.
And then, oops. Queen here, and then take.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a crazy example.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get this in my game for sure.
For sure.
Now that we studied it, I'm gonna get this in like my very first game, and I'm gonna have to be like, "Oh frick, what's the line?
What's the line?" No, but it's just a very good demonstration of like the principle of back rank mate. It's very complicated, but demonstrates a lot of ideas. Also for your opponent, because if you play it wrong, then all of a sudden your opponent is back rank mating you.
Yeah.
So a very tricky one.
This is all because the queen can't move anywhere that doesn't hang and still protects the rook.
Needs to protect the back rank. It's like an overworked piece. Like too many jobs.
That's very interesting. Very interesting.
Okay, I have some more stuff, but like maybe you want to do something different. Like, do you want to like maybe play a few games, and I can have a look, observe, and maybe give you some pointers afterwards, something like that.
Yeah, sure. We could do that.
Shall we switch to that?
Sure, let's do it. Okay, who wants to be the guinea pig in chat? Who wants to be who volunteers as tribute? We'll take one unlucky person.
So I'll go. Let's see. No, I can invite you later. I'll just go away from the demonstration board and I'll go follow you. Maybe you tell me when you start.
Okay. Should I do a what time frame? 5 minutes? 3 minutes?
I prefer at least 5 minutes. I mean, 3 minutes. It's fun to play, but maybe you can't, do as much thinking.
Think as much.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Okay, we'll do 5 minutes then. 5 minutes game then.
So when the game starts, I will probably just mute my mic, and then afterwards we can have a look at the game. Okay.
All right, sounds good. All right, I'll just play the pool then.
Yeah.
Rated game. Okay, here we go.
Okay, the game is on. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna mute.
All right, sounds good. Oh man, the pressure is on. We have.
Yeah, don't worry about. I mean, you're not. I'm not the judge.
We did it. We won. OP. I'm amazing. Your coaching was.
Yeah. He obviously you saw that you're ready for it. Okay. Let's make a move. Okay. We have a game. Game on. Okay. So we muted. We have the London system. We have similar stuff to what we looked at, except he went knight c6 instead of c6. Still, I like going c4 here. He plays very fast. Knight b4. This is nothing to worry about. I mean, this looks threatening, but we can play knight a3. And this is actually fine, because knight has to go back. And now knight e5 is actually close to winning. Please take your time at...
I can just play this, right?
Knight e5.
He takes, I take. I think I could play this.
Play knight e5.
Pretty sure I can.
d5 I can probably just take. I think knight e5 was close to devastating. By the way, people in my chat...
Fine, right? Wait, but now we just harassed this.
Yeah,
right?
the real king.
This is still pinned.
I agree with you.
Is anything under threat here? We could win this if we want.
Grandmasters who haven't seen this game would struggle to find
here,
it. It's a very...
If I go here, hit the queen.
Very beautiful example. I think it's looking at this.
Hit the queen. Queen goes like here or something.
I think knight e5 was completely winning for him.
I'm debating between this and I think this is just right. It develops, hits the queen. What am I hanging? I could also take this if I want, but here it just goes here and then he's fine. Maybe I just take this. Feels a little greedy.
He says
Yeah,
this
feels a little greedy.
feels a little greedy.
I'm debating between this and this. I need to not blunder my time though. I feel like this feels a bit more natural to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Let's go
worry. I
here.
wouldn't worry about the time to, like, not right away.
Yeah, I feel like my bishop might get trapped here. Like he goes here and I don't know. So he has to come back like. Where does he go?
Queen
He goes over there.
E6 looks dodgy. Maybe maybe this now.
I mean, I could still take. Maybe I just
Or
take
maybe
it. I
just
kind of want
this.
to castle first.
Actually, yeah,
Just so I don't like.
knight b5 is
This
just
is still pinned, so I kind of just want to stack my stuff on it.
devastating.
Like maybe here at some point. What if I just do it now? If I do it now, threatening to take. This seems okay. The queen's kind of whatever there. Let's go over here. Let's take advantage of the pin. I think I don't need to be greedy and take that pawn. I don't think. This a little okay. He goes over there, but now I just take, and I'm pretty happy. Take with the queen.
Yeah, that was a
And
bad
I
move.
trade everything off.
It's a bad move.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this now. Take. If he takes, we take. Open up the king side.
It's gonna get this. Yeah, it's very bad for black now.
The rook. His rook could come to my file here if I castle too soon. So I need to be a little aware of that.
Rook could come to.
But he's definitely gonna take.
I wonder what it means.
Huh. If he takes, is there ever a world where I take here? If I take here, he has this threatening me. I
Chaos.
check, he goes
At
here.
has a time management problem. He
And
spends a
then
lot
it's
of
not looking
time
so good for me.
in
I feel like I have
positions
to
that he
just
should
trade.
play in a
I might have had a
practical way.
tactic there, but I'm kind of running low
correct.
on time. So I don't want the rook.
Correct. But it's
What if
also
we go
normal.
here?
I mean, he's only played for 4
Because
months.
I don't want
so,
him to
I
come
mean,
here.
You can't expect
So I'm gonna go
too much.
here just so that my bishop covers here.
Okay. This is actually fine positionally.
Okay,
Like
now I think I
F3,
just castle here.
Castles, even king f2, king e2.
Yeah, I'm down on time, so I kind of have to move a little
even though
faster.
black is up a pawn, the
Let's see,
c-file
these are
pressure
weak. I
is
think I
very
want to
real.
go for this here.
I would love to see him go for the c-file now. I'm not a big fan of this. I would have loved
Goes
to
over
see
there, connecting the
c-file
thingies.
pressure.
Makes sense. If I capture, I give him the open file, so I don't want to take.
You do give
let's
him open file,
push our
but
pawns, I
you
guess.
also cover
Since this is,
a lot of squares on
I
the
want
file.
to may
But
want
now-
to move my knight at some point.
You gave him this. Obviously, he can't hear me. I muted my mic, so I'm not giving him tips. We're just talking to the chat. I think bishop b3 now, and
We could maneuver our knight.
black can take
So,
over the.
The lesson that we
d-file.
learned is we could blockade. I want my knight to go here. Maybe I should have put my knight here and here.
Yeah, I should have put it. Yeah,
Okay, now we get the
that's
open
better.
file. Now I'm really happy.
No, he can contest it, so you shouldn't be too happy.
He could take here and then it
And now, since you traded the pair of rooks, if you go rook c1,
goes over there.
after rook d8, rook c1, he can take on
I think
c3
I'm just gonna
maybe,
take that here.
and you're not too happy.
And then maybe goes over there. What if we put our rook over here? Pushes. I don't want this to hang though.
So white is down a pawn.
Let's go over here for now.
White
Maybe bring my bishop here.
Does have some chances of
I'm gonna go after this
obtaining
pawn now though.
obtaining a black square blockade.
Defends it that
Yeah,
way.
black is definitely better. I would play bishop
So
e5
yeah, we could go here.
and hope
hitting
for,
this twice.
the blockade.
He has to like go.
Yeah,
He
e5
pushes
is
it up.
strong move.
It's defended twice now. I think we maybe go here and then here. Try to get that bishop.
Try to get that bishop.
Now that we
What
can
is-
move
what
our-
is he talking
our knight
about?
here.
I wanna see.
Kicking me off. If we go here, he goes here. Goes here. Yeah, let's bring us over here. Actually, this is where I wanted my my knight. So I don't know. I think I messed up here.
Yeah, now he's
let's
threatening
just
to
go
win.
here.
So yeah,
so that we have a
h4. I like
pocket
it. I
to
like
go
it.
back to.
I like it.
He takes, I take.
Chess Lover asks,
Pushes down.
Is there chess tournaments next
But
time?
now we
Actually,
hold on.
what's it? Is it 11th? Next weekend we will start the Reykjavik Chess Congress.
Let's move over our knight now. We're hitting this twice.
Strong tournament.
This bishop is
2 to 3
like
rounds
here. I'm just running very
week.
low on time here.
I'm probably not gonna play because I haven't been
now.
actively.
So I'm hitting this twice.
Working on my openings like I would if I was playing, but I'm definitely gonna follow.
Now
the
I think I want to put my knight over here.
So now black is putting a lot of pawns on light
To
squares.
go after this pawn here. Oh shoot! I dropped that.
Which might give
do I get this
white
now? Let's go after
opportunities
this.
of a dark square blockade, but the loss of this pawn is too much. And now black could and maybe should start
I need to
thinking
play
about
faster. Definitely play faster. He goes
pushing
over
this
there.
pawn.
So let's go over here maybe.
So maybe already c5 was an idea. No,
Go here.
maybe we can take rook takes this. Although there's e3.
How do you defend that? He defends it that way.
Still we can do
I'm
it.
running out of time here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just
Now
go
we go
back.
here.
Yeah. I like it. And check again. Make him find it.
Check him here.
Okay, if he takes, please find rook c5. Come on, Ed.
He goes up that
You
way.
can do it. Okay,
Interesting.
he didn't take, so.
We want to move our pieces somewhere. I gotta go though. Gotta go.
Oh, he's
We
only
really
got
want to move our
20
pieces.
something
My knight.
seconds.
Okay. I don't know.
Back to e2.
I'm trying to.
Okay, it's gonna be a
Okay,
trade.
got the bishop pair at least.
Yeah, must have Viratuit. He's only played for 4 months, but
Pushes down.
I still think that plus 1200
so
is
hit
very
him with
impressive.
A check first, I guess.
And in some position, he's showing
He just takes, right?
understanding like
After
well
this and
beyond
this.
his reading, but obviously like without
Check
experience,
here.
in some positions he's just lacking
Might
experience.
run out of squares. I could
Like-
take this soon.
And like the
I'll
patterns
take that
needed to
next
take
turn.
the correct decision. So that's very normal.
Could take
But
with check.
I think
I'm definitely not winning on time here.
I think he's showing very promising talent for the game. Now rook c8 is actually devastating, but he
Oh,
didn't
I just
find
dropped
it.
that.
Okay, now black should just play e2, and it's GG.
Is there a way I could flag him? Probably not, right?
I sincerely
Sure.
doubt that.
It's good.
Oh,
our
that's
king can't even go
nice.
there.
Rook f1.
He just goes here.
Take on e2. No, take on e2. Oh, you could have tricked him.
Oh!
Yeah, no, he actually.
Calculated, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen it here first. This is professional stalemating right here. You learned it here first.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like-
Yeah, that's my understanding as well. I actually
I'm the best at
I actually saw another stalemate, so I was surprised when this happened. I was like, take on e2,
Yeah.
take on e2. Okay, no, but taking left one was actually better. Okay, let's
great.
have a look. Actually, I
Okay.
thought there were a lot of moments, so I'm gonna invite you again to a analysis board.
How do I stalemate so much? I don't know. I'm so talented at stalemating. It's incredible.
So
Games
talented.
that I'm completely lost, I just stalemate. I don't know how I do it.
Yeah, fan pine code with it.
Love it.
Did you get the invitation?
I have to go on live chess, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Send it one more time.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Got it.
Okay. So we got to London, which is a good thing. But he played an setup with knight c6. And as I said on my stream, it's very similar to what we looked at, but he didn't go c6.
Right.
And generally, I don't think it's that great. And I like what he did here, c4.
Okay.
This is also what I play. He took. And generally, you don't have to. This looks scary, but you don't have to worry about this. You have a number of ways you can play knight a3, just protect the square.
Really?
Or you can play.
You don't check here?
No, I was going to say you have a number of options. You can simply defend.
Oh, okay.
But what he did was, I think, the best move. Absolutely best move.
Oh, okay.
Because now he simply has to go back.
Right.
He lost time. But here I think you have a super move. Super strong. You played d5.
I did do d5, right?
Yeah, which is not good because he just takes. He got some initiative, but I don't think it's worth the light squared bishop, the bishop pair, and the pawn.
To be honest, I forgot about the queen. I forgot you could capture the queen.
Okay.
Maybe a better move here would have been knight to e5.
Bingo. Bingo. Bango. Bongo.
Oh, really?
What's your big threat?
To take the knight and then fork him.
I tried to trick you with the arrow. Don't. I'm a tricky customer.
Think independently.
Oh,
yeah,
the other fork.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Just checkmate in one.
Wait, that's freaking. Wait. Oh, that's checkmate.
Yeah,
oh. I would have taken with my knight. Not even gonna.
Yeah, okay. No, but you're just threatening mate, so he has a very hard time to deal with this. He has to probably go e6, and now you can take on c6 or increase the pressure. Maybe that's even stronger just to go here.
Huh.
I'm not sure which one, but doesn't really matter. Probably takes is best.
Takes, because if he takes, then I win the pawn.
Yeah, he has to go here.
He has to move the king, right? Oh,
here, here or move the king.
Okay.
And he's basically toast.
Oh,
okay, so 95 would have been strong. So that would have been the immediate punishment for this silly business here with knight b4. It's simply not supported, so he's just losing time.
Right.
Okay. So now we learned about this. I mean, because this happens a lot, your opponent gets attracted to this idea, but it's simply not working, and you played the right move. But this wasn't... Okay, now you know 95, something to keep in mind. Okay, he played d5 this time. You played d5, takes. And yeah, I wasn't sure...
I was debating here whether I could just take that pawn on c7.
Yeah, this one.
I felt like...
I agree with you.
I don't know.
I remember you said it looks a bit greedy. I think it shows kind of a chess... what's the word? To be maturity. Even though I say that as a compliment because you only played 4 months, but you do recognize your intuition is already saying it feels a bit greedy, just to grab a pawn. It might be a good move, but okay, he plays rook c8 and he gets time to develop.
Right.
Maybe the queen comes back. It might be alright. I'm not sure, but I think you have again a very strong move. Just trying to attack something because okay, you did gain a tempo, and he chose a very bad square for his queen.
Right, I knew that was a bad spot, but I didn't know how to punish it.
Yeah, because he can't develop the bishop very freely, and also remember the attack he tried to put on you. You can do it, but in a much better circumstance, I think. Yeah, Not Fisher is saying he should have played queen a5. He's Not Fisher is very strong.
I know Not Fisher.
Yeah, he's a streamer also. You should have played this, but queen e6 was very poor. Now I think you have a super strong move.
What if I put my knight on b7, threatening the fork?
Yeah.
Oh, I forked the whole family. Yeah, knight to b7 forks a lot of things.
Yeah. I actually don't see how he defends the square.
Because if he brings out the rook to defend it, rook to c8.
You just
take. I give him 2 pieces though, right?
No.
No, it's just an exchange. Never mind. I just take it.
Exactly. I didn't get the pawn, so.
Oh.
So this was another opportunity. But now you saw the pin, and now you're back in the game. So you take on c6. And here my first instinct is that you should not take on c6. Because
yeah, I was calculating if I captured on b7 or a7, he could take my g2 pawn, which is kind of a big threat.
Okay, but when people
after I check them,
when people start making big threats, it's most important who is making the biggest threat first.
Do I have mate actually? Can I check them? And then king goes to d7, and maybe I go rook d1.
Okay, rook a d1 is an excellent move. Can you find a slightly better move that takes care of another issue?
Oh wait.
And I'm
Castle?
Yes, of course. Excellent.
Because then that connects the rook. Oh yes.
Because now you don't have to worry about him taking this.
Oh yeah, I failed to see this part, and then the rook is just.
And now if the king comes out, you just can take this, and everything is.
Yeah.
Fine and dandy.
Yeah.
So every time you can take a pawn like this, like this, you should look at it because there's a big jack. His king is weakened.
Yeah. So it was honestly the first thing I looked at, but maybe I need to work on my calculation a bit more because I just looked at his g2 threat. And I'm like, I'm scared. I need a castle.
yeah, not Fisher is correct. Queen's and castle, exactly. Yeah, but that's something. It's also positive that very many people, they have this tunnel vision. They just look at their own ideas, and they don't recognize their opponent's ideas. So I like that. Even though it was wrong in this case, and you didn't go for the best move, you were worried about what your opponent was doing. So that's very positive.
Yeah.
So here, I actually like this move a lot. Castles, g6, and okay, you're down a pawn, but what's your compensation?
His king side is pretty weak. He has double pawns.
Yeah.
He has a bishop pair though. Yeah.
So can you, in some way, take advantage of these weaknesses?
Well, it was occurring to me that maybe I should do the thing you taught me, the blockade, the attack and destroy technique.
Yeah.
But I realized it too late.
Restrain, blockade, destroy.
That, yes.
Even I don't remember it, don't worry. But yeah, so because you're down some pieces, maybe you want to keep attacking units on. And I think because he has a weakness on the c file, you want to keep the rooks on. So that's why you shouldn't be looking to trade rooks. Again, you were slightly...
I shouldn't?
No, because you were slightly worried about the d file, right? You talked about conceding the file,
I wanted to control it.
So every time you try to occupy a file, or your opponent tries to occupy a file, sort of the end goal of occupying a file is to enter your opponent's territory with a rook. So if you concede the d file, your main worry is that the rook enters your position and starts to hit some things. But is that a concern right now?
No, because I have the bishop on f4.
Exactly. So you don't need to worry about the d file right now. So you can maybe pursue your own things and go for which file?
C file.
Yes. And there's a thing in chess, which rook. There's always like, maybe this rook feels more natural.
Yeah.
But I think maybe you might want to go with this rook.
Really?
Yeah, just to keep an eye on this pawn.
True.
Because and now we can go with the plan you mentioned of trying to blockade maybe this square.
Okay.
Go here, get this square. And the reason I said I like this move e4 is that you have which colored bishop?
Black.
Okay. And there's a rule called the Capablanca rule. Have you heard of it?
The what?
The Capablanca rule.
Capablanca? No.
Yeah, Capablanca was one of the early world champions, one of the best chess players ever. And his rule was, if you have one bishop, generally you want to have pawns on the opposite color of your bishop.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense, exactly, because they're not in the way of the bishop, and they control different colored squares. So very often a good player would think about a blockade here, maybe bishop back, and at some stage to play f3.
Okay.
Because all your pawns on the light squares are covering light squares, and restricting your opponent's bishop.
Okay, makes sense.
So maybe if we do some stuff later, we can look further into this rule. But it's very useful in many positions. So I just wanted to mention it. Maybe we're talking about too much stuff. Sometimes we mention too much stuff. We overload the brain. But I think you're picking up on a lot of stuff already. So I don't mind mentioning a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you should have done this. Go for the blockade. You can maybe get a piece on c5, and you have excellent compensation.
Right.
So this is why don't think the d file was a concern. And now we had trades, and this move also. I didn't like this move because how can he kick you off the d file? Let's say he wanted to occupy the d file. How can he do that forcefully now?
How can you occupy the d file?
Yeah, let's say he really wanted to occupy the d file.
I guess he could double up his rooks.
Yeah, but he can really force you to concede it already. Because of your last move a4, it weakened one square. Which square?
Oh, my b3 square.
Yeah. And he has a light square bishop, which can immediately utilize that square.
Okay.
You can't really kick it away, and it's difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Now if you take, and now he will start thinking about ways to get rid of this bishop, so you can enter your position.
Yeah.
And you're not kicking. This is really restraining this. And if he wants, he can maybe just take this and take this pawn. So really limits your options. In your defense, it's a difficult position. I'm not. Maybe f3 and rook c1 or something like that is what you should have played. So okay, this f5 we took. I thought here maybe you should try to restrain him because you're down a pawn. Okay, what do I mean restrain? How can you restrain some of his pieces?
I could push my pawn to e5, blunting the bishop, maybe?
Okay. And why is that better than taking?
Because if it takes, then it opens up lines against my king side.
Yeah, when you have the bishop pair, you want to do what?
Have the open field.
Yeah, open up the position.
Right.
Exactly what's going on now. The bishops are wide open. So you're playing into his hand. If you, on the other hand, try to keep it closed, you can maybe try to, play against this one. Maybe play h4. Try to get the blockade.
Yeah.
You can imagine a situation. You push this pawn, try to push this knight into c5. You got all your stuff on dark squares. You're trying to employ a dark square strategy.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So rook e8. Again, I think you should have played bishop e5. Try to trade off. Very often when you
get the bishop
play,
pair.
when you play against the bishop pair, you try to trade off one of your opponent's bishops.
Yeah.
And if you could do that here, maybe you can again try to maneuver the knight, get some dark squares for your pieces, and get counterplay.
Makes sense.
So e5 was a great move by him, and I think it became rather difficult here. Let's see. Yeah, he takes the pawn. Now it should be close to losing. You're down 2 pawns. There's always a chance, so we keep fighting, as we saw in this game. That was a beautiful ending, by the way. So this was good. You gave him a chance to blunder. If he takes, I'm hoping you say the right thing. What would you play?
Yeah, I was hoping he would take it so I could get my rook in the game.
Okay. Did you want to take his pawn or something else?
Oh, what's that?
Did you want to, if he takes the pawn on a5, did you want to take his pawn or something else?
Yeah, I was thinking of taking the pawn.
Okay. Do you have something slightly stronger?
Fork him.
Yeah. Hit him where it hurts. Okay.
Yeah.
But he avoided that.
He
played king b5. Okay, we had a trade. Okay. He has a lot of pawns. He started pushing. He should be winning. Even though he blundered some, okay, you blundered back, but it was already losing. But this was a good moment. I mean, this looks good. I mean, he wants to help the rook. I mean, help the pawn to advance. At this stage, I said, take on e2, take on e2, because it's a stalemate.
Wait, take on e2 is a stalemate for...
Because if he takes, it's stalemate. But if it doesn't take, it's actually a worse move. So what you played was much better. Because okay, what's your opponent's best move actually?
What would he do?
He took and stalemated.
I mean, if you don't take, you're losing, right? Well, actually, no. He could just push the other pawn.
Okay. So when you promote the pawn, do you have to make a queen?
Oh, he could promote it to a rook or something, or yeah, you can promote it to a knight.
Knight is absolutely correct. Jack.
Hilarious.
And you take the pawn, and he wins. Yeah.
Hilarious. Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
rook takes e2, rook takes f1. I think this is a better try because they tend to like pre-move and not have usually they have auto queen enabled. Which
Yeah,
is,
I think I have it on auto queen, which is...
If you want to avoid
maybe
that,
I'm reconsidering it now.
you press the alt key. I have auto queen, but I press the alt key now, and then I can choose. So if I would choose, if I would just make the move right now, it would queen. But now I press the alt key, and it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, but that was a cool game. I think a lot of
I just wanted to show you my stalemating powers.
Yeah. Very, very strong, very strong. Like 5-head stalemate powers.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many games I've done that where for sure I lost and they somehow stalemate me.
Exactly.
It's a hidden talent of mine.
Very good. Excellent.
Yeah.
So Ed, I've really enjoyed this. Like if you want to like do this sometime again, I'd be really down for it.
Absolutely. I should be paying you for these, honestly.
No, I mean it's just a collab. I mean I like your stream and I like you, and I think it's important, just as a community to work together.
Yeah, and, definitely. Thank you so much, Zibit. I think we all really appreciated your wisdom and your lessons. We give you a shout out.
Thank you.
Zibit64. All right, folks, you heard it here first. Zibit64. Make sure to hit him with a follow if you want to get better at chess. Just watch him play. Every time I watch him play, my elo climbs like 30.
No, but I think you're an excellent student. I've said it before. I was kind of skeptical that you only had 4 months. I found it kind of unbelievable because like some concepts you really grasp. But obviously, I mean, you lack experience in other areas, which is completely normal. But overall, I think you have great talent for the game, and like if you keep working, the sky's the limit.
Thank you so much, Zibit. Yeah, I'm definitely obsessed. So.
Yeah, I know it's an easy game to get obsessed with.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was so much fun. Let's be in touch, and bye to Ed and to your viewers, and hope to see you soon.
Definitely. Let's do it soon.
Okay. See you. Bye.
All right. Take care, Zibit.
Take care. Bye.